Hello everyone, this is Jeffrey Henderson, and thank you so much for watching our YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be sitting inside because the weather is just very cold and I don't want to sit out there and freeze. So I decided to be in here, and as you know, today is Christmas, and we have this huge winter season going on, this cold season going on that we have never experienced in such a dramatic way before. I mean, I live in Georgia, and right now the weather is like during the day or at night, like in the single digits, and during the day it doesn't go above 25 or maybe under 20. So it's really cold for Georgia. Up in New Jersey, that would be normal, but down here it's cold, and there's an Arctic front going on right now. It's like all over the nation. I think like 100 million people are infected with that. So that's why I decided to stay inside, because it's not pleasant to be out there in the cold and doing a talk, and freezing. So I'm inside now. So with that said, today I want to talk about something that's on my heart for a while that I wanted to talk about. I think this is something that is extremely important in a relationship, especially if you want to have a good, beautiful, wonderful relationship. This is one of the things that you want to be very careful with if you getting into a relationship, that you don't abuse that particular thing that I'll be talking about, and also just making sure that that what I'm about to say, I'm going to say it in a second. I'm holding it back right now. Is something that can literally destroy your relationship if you don't do it right. And for me personally, I would limit that particular behavior if you can, especially if the other person is the exact opposite of that behavior. First of all, if you have differences in that particular behavior anyways, then you should not even get into a relationship, because that would be just a mixture of catastrophe and destruction of your relationship in the long run. So what I'm going to be talking about is sarcasm. And to better define it, my title is called Sarcasm Destroys Romance. And this is one thing that I want to talk about, which is extremely important to me probably. I just want to first say, for my personality, I am a person who is not sarcastic. What I'm saying by that is that I'm not, having this how can I say this not the right way? Well, sarcasm. Sarcasm is basically meaning that, you're trying to be smart, you're trying to be better than the other person, you're making funny jokes that are maybe humiliating to the other person, or maybe you may mean it nice, but maybe the other person, doesn't take it the right way and gets offended by that. So sarcasm has so many different layers to it that you can actually go all kinds of ways with the sarcasm, and the other person who receives that, like your romantic partner, for example, if the other person is extremely humble and kind and sweet and whatever, and you throw that sarcasm at that person, the other person may not understand what you're saying and what you mean by that, and they may get, offended, or maybe they get, they think that something is wrong, or you're making fun of them, or they don't know how to respond, and they get uncomfortable, and they think that you don't like them or whatever. And it is from a person that is very humble in heart and kind and sweet. It can be very off-putting, and it can be very, it's a turnoff. It's a real turnoff. For me personally, it would be a turnoff if my partner would constantly do sarcasm towards me, and always like talking down to me and using weird words and phrases and stuff like that sometimes I don't even know how to respond to. It's something that that I personally think that for me personally, it's extremely off-putting, and I really don't like that. And so for those who are actually have this mentality of sarcasm, and let's say, for example, this is just me and I don't know how to turn it off. This is who I am. I'm a sarcastic person. So if I meet somebody in my life that wants to be with me, they have to accept for who I am. And I totally understand that's what you think and that's how you think. But on the other hand, you have to remember one thing, that if you're extremely sarcastic towards the other person and the other person, for example, does not understand it, then don't be surprised if things will turn weird down the line as we get into a relationship. Because the other person, like I said before, well, it's a turn off. It does not appeal to the other person, kind and sweet and romantic and loving and anything you want to say. And so don't be surprised if you get to a point where you start arguing with the other partner because the other partner is trying to be kind to you and romantic to you. And but on the other hand, if you meet somebody who is also sarcastic and you both have a certain level, I mean, as long as you able to understand each other's sarcasm, and as long as you able to play with each other and it's okay, then great. And you know what? You found a great partner and a great match, and I hope and pray that you will continue to thrive in your relationship. Because at the end of the day, I really want everybody to have a successful and happy relationship. That's important. But there's one thing that you have to remember, and I'm talking about romance, and I'm talking about romance from a third-person perspective. When the third person sees a couple and they're together and they're being very sweet to each other, it just looks so romantic. It's like you're watching a romantic movie and you're seeing those people loving each other, and your heart just balloons and you just I wish I had that too kind of attitude. That's the type of romance that you will not see if both people are sarcastic, because they would not be handling each other like that. They would not be romantic like that, because romance is not just about action and how you touch each other, but it's also about words and when you talk to each other and how you speak to each other. People will sense, even though you know each other and you know that you are just making fun of each other, for the person that sees you, they will not be inspired by that. They will say, "Oh, this is not romantic." And I'm not talking to everybody. I'm talking to the majority of people, because the majority of people really want a romantic relationship, and they always fantasize of having the perfect man or the perfect woman, and everything should be like, oh, la la la, Disney-like, and happily ever after. Everybody kind of dream. We all children inside. We want this romantic love. Sometimes we just too pride that we don't want to admit that. And but deep down inside, we want romance. We want this beautiful romance in a relationship. And if you want this type of relationship in your life, and this type of romance in your life, then sarcasm is something that you want to stay far, far away with. But like I said before, there are different levels of sarcasm. For example, my baby and I, when we talk about sarcasm, there's really not much that we have. We actually really, we really laugh about everything we say right away as soon as we say it. That way, the other person knows that we're just making a joke, we're being funny to each other. We don't keep our masculinity up, where basically we make a joke about the other person and don't let them know that we are joking. We don't do that. When we make a joke, we laugh right away. She says something to me that's maybe like, it could be like, for some person who doesn't know, it could be like maybe insulting or something, but as soon as we say it, we laugh right away, right afterwards, meaning that we are not trying to play the other person into a, wondering attitude where they don't know, is she for real or is he for real or is he just joking to me? We don't do that. Right away, when we make something like that, we laugh right away. we hug right away. So we keep this humility going on in our relationship that is very important to us. And this is something, like I said, in general, that this is the balance that we have. But like I said before, I have experienced this in my previous dating time, before I was getting into a relationship with my baby love. I was dating, and I also have met women that were extremely sarcastic. And at the beginning, I was kind of like laughing with them just to kind of like not make a fool out of myself. But then I realized that, you know what, this is not who I am. I don't really enjoy that, so why should I laugh? I guess I was just trying to not, turn the other person off. But in the same time, I was putting myself into a situation where I was not comfortable with, so, and I gotta admit, after I went home after the date, I was like, I didn't like that woman at all, this attitude. I could not hold this on for a long time and do this every day on a daily basis like that. No. And I don't want it. I'm a romantic person, and I always dreamed and fantasized about being with a woman that is extremely romantic, and our relationship is very romantic and kind and sweet and humble. That's what I want. And I have this experience with my baby love on a daily basis. I'm so happy with her in my life. And this is something that is just my personal advice to you, that if you want the same thing, then stay away from the sarcasm. If you want romance. Now, if you don't want romance, if you want this tough relationship where you just making fun of each other and you like the drama and you like where this thing will turn out to be in the long run, then go ahead and do it, But some people, they don't want it. Some people want romance in their relationship. They want to have a sweet relationship. They want to have sweet talks with their partner. They want to have kindness and gentleness on a daily basis. You have to stay away from that right away. And this is the other thing that's very important. What's very important is this, that it really starts at the beginning of the relationship. If you start the relationship on the wrong foot, and then later on down the line you realize, but I really don't like that, and you trying to change and become all romantic, at that point it may be already too late, because people already know who you are. And they say, this person is just changing right now. It's not really what the person is. So you have to really determine from the very beginning, when you get somebody in your life, when you get into a relationship, is this the right person? And you can sense that right away, and you see if everything is kind of lining up how you want it to be, then great. But if not, just get out of it right away if you can. But if you want this romantic relationship, then it's very important from the very beginning that this is, first of all, you have to be honest to yourself. If this is not who you are, if you're not a romantic person in general, you are, like I said before at the beginning, you are a person who is sarcastic, and that's who you are, then just accept the fact that you will not get into this romance that some people want in their life. They just want this. If you like this, if you have this attitude, then don't expect the other partner to change for you, because the other partner will not change for you. The other partner is going to be who that person is, and you have to accept that, and vice versa. So if you want this romantic relationship in your life, and I already told you, if you have a lot of sarcasm, you will not be getting that. You have to really work on yourself first before you go into a relationship, especially if you want a romantic relationship where everybody's going to look at you like, oh man, those people are so beautiful. I'm so inspired by them. I want this too in my life. If you want this and you are sarcastic in your nature, then you have to work on yourself to change that and pray about that. And if you cannot do this, then you have to accept the fact that you may never get that unless you find somebody in your life who is just going along with you and just accepting all the sarcasm from you. But you know what? In the other hand, that other person may not really like it deep down inside, even though it seems they like it. And if they do really, really, really like it, then you're extremely lucky, and God bless you, and I wish you all the best. But this does not happen all the time. You know, either people are sarcastic with you or they don't. And but like I said, if they're also sarcastic towards you, just like the other way around you are, then you will not have this romance. So you have to pick. You have to pick what you want, you know? But like I said before, if you want this romance in your life, then do the things that are suggested and you will have it. So with that said, thank you so much for watching. And also remember, if you are watching this video on the day it came out, which is Thursday, because we are releasing this every Thursday. So this should be still before New Year's of 2023. Just one thing I want to mention really quickly. We have a New Year raffle coming up on this coming Saturday, 8:30 a.m. And in the Philippines, it'll be 9:30 p.m. We have a special raffle where you can win 5,000 Gcash. And then in dollars, it'll be $100. All you got to do is get 10 people that you know to subscribe to our Innocent Love YouTube channel, and you will automatically be part of the raffle. But make sure that you send us a screenshot to our Facebook group. You can find the link on the description below. You click on the link on the description below and you click on the Facebook group. You're going to see our group. Make sure that you send those screenshots onto the group, and then we will put you in the raffle on this coming Saturday, and you have a chance of winning 5,000 Gcash or $100. So with that said, Merry Christmas, and I see you guys soon.